Let's move on to the next segment, which is a pretty critical segment, I believe, and it's all around credit files, George. It's been a changing space over the last probably 4 or 5 years, and the message that we really want to deliver is to help everyone understand how important it is to protect your credit file, number one, to ensure that you've got an understanding of the activity that does occur with your credit file. So, George, you want to give a couple of examples, because it's quite frequent in our conversations each week now, how many unfortunate clients are finding out that their credit scores have been impacted, even defaults have been innocently listed.
That's right. I think the first thing to understand with your credit file is that it's a process that's undertaken with the banks each time you borrow money from them. So part of their process is they'll run a credit check on your file, and depending on the credit score and how that looks, that will impact on the decision they'll make. A credit score is something that you can obtain for free. There is a couple of links that you can jump on and you can understand your credit score. But I think it's important to understand and to summarise that Big Brother is watching. So each month when you transact on your loans, and that can be across your personal loans, your credit cards or your home loans, there's an upload to your credit file. And what it does is if you make your payment on time, it'll boost your credit score. So that's an important part. The other thing what it does is it keeps a record of your repayment conduct for the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. So, if you do go away and you miss a payment here and there, it'll be notified on your credit score. But normally when you apply for a loan, what the bank is looking for as a minimum, the score needs to be about 600. So that's a crucial number that you should just jot down. 600 is a minimum score that you need to qualify with the banks. Otherwise, what happens is when you run your application through the bank, they'll give you an auto decline.
So, George, in the case where, unfortunately, for whatever reason, there's been a missed payment that's occurred in a month, and let's say your credit score was hovering around that 600, that missed payment after it's recorded, what impact could that have on the overall score?
It could have a huge impact. It could impact your score enough that you can't borrow. By missing a payment, I think the number's about 50, might drop your score about 50.
Yeah.
So if you're hovering around that 600 and you drop it by 50 when you miss a payment, you are getting a bit tight with your situation. However, what you can do is, if you're too tight with your score, you can just jump on the sidelines for a couple of months, make your repayments on your credit cards, make your repayments on your home loan, and then in a couple of months, what will happen to your credit score, it'll get it past that 600 mark. So you can reapply in a couple of months' time.
And we've had plenty of examples of recent times where clients have been willing to obviously do the right thing for a period of time to obviously improve their credit score, and even go and inquire to the governing bodies to make sure that those credit reports are repaired, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's crucial because unfortunately you've got no control over your credit file. To try and clean up a credit file or have it corrected because the bank's made a mistake, it's a very lengthy process. But the good thing to know is that there are credit reporting repair agencies out there. So they will try and clean up a credit score or an inquiry on your file that is affecting your ability to borrow. It is a lengthy process. It could take 2 or 3 months, but certainly there is an option if you have an issue with your credit file.
Would you recommend subscribing?
Definitely. I think you should have a link to your credit file. What you do is you can set up an alert so that if there's any activity on your credit file, you'll be notified.
Great. Hopefully that's given everyone a little bit more of an understanding of the importance around a credit file and really the impact that it does have when obviously applying for finance with the banks.